What's up guys, Patrick Wolf here. So, I've always been a fan of skill builds in this game, especially playing in legendary missions solo. The skill build I'm going to be showcasing today is the highest amount of damage you can possibly get from a skill build in Title Update 12. The turret and drone combination is one of my favorites, and this is going to be perfect for that. I have made a PTS video, link will be in the description, and at the end of the video I go in depth with this build, comparing it with the new gear set and brand set Empress International. We put a whole bunch of combinations together and I find out that this is the highest amount of damage that you can possibly get in TU12 with a skill build. So I'm very pleased to bring this build to you guys. I had to grind out to get level 90 to acquire the waveform holster. This is going to be a very highly anticipated build video. I think this will be my best skill build I've ever released in this game. And let's get straight into the gameplay. You watching me do some footage. It's just going to be some casual legendary mission. This is the first run I did of fresh TU12 gameplay. This is my first run of this mission, guys, so I do apologize, I'm a bit rusty, but it goes to show how strong this build actually is. Notice the damage. You can hit over 400k a shot with your turret when you have the artificier hive, but in the gameplay I just used the turret and the drone. I think it's a really good combination. So enjoy the gameplay and we'll get into the build in a second. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that gameplay, so let's get straight into the specialization and crack on with this build, because I don't want to talk too much about this. We have gone in depth, like I said before, in the video in the description, the TU12 PTS video I made. Basically what's changed since then is we actually have a bit more skill damage from the capacitor weapon, which you guys need to acquire, so make sure you go and get that. I made a video about that. Link will also be in the description how to acquire it. It takes about 20 minutes. You get it from Summit Challenges. So the specialization we need to use is Technician, because it gives us an extra skill tier. It's just very good, and the Artificer Hive is unbelievable. It allows us to give our turret that beautiful over 400k shot damage, which you can acquire if you get everything in combination. That is, when you go into the firing range, or when you're in a mission, to get over 410, 420k a shot with your turret, you would need to have overcharge, an Artificer Hive proc, a full stack of the capacitor, and also the waveform to be on the correct side for your turret, and also perfect combined arms to be fully procced. So that's how you can acquire upwards of 420k a shot with this turret, but it's not really that important. you can use whatever skill you want with this. You don't have to use the artificier hive. You can just use the turret and drone combination. That's my favorite. But you can also use the oxidizer, chem launcher. It's really, really good. You hit over 600k a tick and it lasts forever. So let's go through the specialization further. So make sure this is definitely activated because this is important. Amped gives us 1 skill tier. You can also have the named pistol, which gives you an additional tier, but I wouldn't really recommend it. You can if you want to, and have 2 reds or 2 blues, but having an extra red I think is more important because the capacitor is just really good with the damage and it just helps you just hit even harder. But it doesn't really matter. You can just go for whatever specialization, whatever gun. It's completely up to you guys. If you want to use spike rather than the capacitor, you can go for that, but I do recommend using it because you get 60% skill damage. So make sure assault rifle damage is up if you're going to use it, and everything else needs to be activated as well. This is very nice. Also 12% damage to drones, skill proxies and robotics, because those robot dogs, they push you, they are very aggressive, and this helps you get them down a lot faster. Also make sure you have skill damage procced on the overclocked CPU. The passive talent, make sure that's activated, and everything else should be. With regards to Faraday field, remember that when you drop your hive, because your hive can be on your back, if you're going to be using this artificer hive, if it's on your back, this will not proc, so make sure you drop it near you. I don't think it procs, but just double check that, guys. There'll be like a blue line going towards the skill, and that allows you to be immune from shock and disruption, which can be quite important. We have discussed that before, but just a quick little side note. So once you've done that, let's have a look at the build. Like I said before, this is the most damage you can get from a skill build in this game currently. There's no build that will give you more damage. I've done countless testing, and in the comments section I've also done research online, and you guys do agree with me, and this is probably the way to go. But if you find something out that I don't know of, let me know in the comments, because you never know, we might discover something. Hardwired is very close to this, but hardwired 3-piece gives us about 2,000 a shot less than Empress International, because that gives us 20% skill damage, whereas the hardwired only gives us 15. So just keep that in mind. Also, if you stack a bit of headshot damage with, for example, Providence Defense, that will work with the drone or the turret. But if you want to use other skills, it's not really a true skill build then. So that's why I've gone for the Wyvernware. So you can also change that, because the drone and turret do actually hit headshots, and you can acquire possibly slightly more to the head if you're hitting headshots with the drone, but it depends what NPC you're facing, and it depends what skills you're using. So I wanted to make sure that we only have skill damage. But even with that being said, you know, this is still the highest amount of skill damage you could possibly get with a skill build. So let's have a look at the weapon first. So we have got the capacitor. Make sure you guys acquire this. It's very good. That's 60% skill damage, and we get 45% weapon damage from having skill tier 6. So 6 tiers. We only have 5. But actually, no, we've got 6 because of the technician specialization, which is very good. And then that gives us 45% weapon damage, which means you can actually hit quite a lot of damage with this. And it's important to note that we have got perfect combined arms, which requires us to hit our shots every couple of seconds. So this is going to match perfectly with the backpack talent. So make sure you guys have this activated. The decay is very slow, and it doesn't really matter at all. Then once you've make sure you try and get this as high as possible. Go recalibrate it, because this is a very, very strong weapon. You get damage to armor and health damage, which is a great combination. There are also some good modifications on here, if you guys didn't know. We've got more crit chance and more crit damage than usual on each mod, which is very, very nice as well. The secondary weapon, I would go for the mechanical animal. You can go for whatever you want. It's completely up to you. Perfectly in sync, is very close to the damage of the capacitor, so it's up to you guys whatever you want to be utilizing. But this gives us overcharge, which gives us that huge amount of damage from the turret, upwards of 420k a shot. So make sure you guys use whatever pistol you want as well, but the card custom is probably the one to go for. If you want to put an extra blue or yellow and then just hold the pistol when you're doing damage with your skills, it's completely up to you. You can do that as well. Then we have got obviously 1 red and then 5 yellows, but because we've got technician, that gives us an additional yellow. So this build has got 1 Wyvern, 3 Empress International, the waveform holster, and the perfectly combined arms bag. Now you can use another Hunter chest. It doesn't matter, because the 1 piece is skill damage and the 2-piece Hunter is also skill damage. So it's completely up to you. It probably would look a bit nicer if you have 2 Hunter, but I don't have the best one. You're probably thinking to yourself, glass cannon. That's a bit tricky. Glass cannon is more damage than the new rigger gear set. It is way more. So I don't recommend using the new rigger gear set with if you want to get the most amount of damage. It is way less, because this is amplified damage. Even though the chest piece from the rigger sounds like it would be more, it is not. I've done all the testing, so you can just take my word for it, guys, or go test it for yourself. So we have got 3-piece Empress International as well. which gives us skill damage 10% and skill efficiency, which is damage, haste, duration, all of that stuff. So that's also damage. That's 20% skill damage for the 3-piece. Very good, best in slot by far. And the waveform holster. Now this is important to note. So our damage is going to be swapping from one to the other. So we create a stack of 30% skill damage, one of your skills every second, capping at 10 stacks. So it's 30% skill damage. It's a must-have for any kind of skill damage build. I have a few combinations coming up, so if you guys are thinking about making other builds like with the rigger, I will be bringing out builds with that, so don't you worry. So make sure that notification bell is clicked. So this is situational with some skills like the chem launcher, because if the damage is not on the right hand side, it goes from right to left. So if it's on the right, it's your right hand skill, to the left hand skill, the arrows point left and right. And then, you know, if you're shooting your chem, it might not be on that damage side, which is not the end of the world, but it is important to note. That's why using the drone and the turret is the best combination to have with this holster. But let's just go through the build from the beginning, so I'm sure you can see what I mean. This works perfectly with the capacitor because we have perfectly combined arms. This is 30% skill damage for 3 seconds. Works very well with this. If you don't want to use this, I will be making another gear set soon, a gear set video or skill build video where we use tech support. So just try and find that first. So we have got the weapons covered. So let's go through the actual each individual piece. So all of my modifications, I have put skill haste. Try and get those juicy 12% skill haste mods if you can. So like I said before, 3-piece Empress International. We have got the weapon damage roll as the core attribute for this one because of technician. So skill health, skill damage, skill efficiency. This works great. I think my skill haste is about 130%, which is really, really nice. So skill damage and skill haste is what we want to roll on absolutely everything. So the 3-piece is going to have skill damage, skill haste. Again, on the knee pads, skill damage, skill haste. And then with the chest piece, we've got skill damage. Fortunately, it's not skill haste, but we do have the 1-piece skill damage, which is great. Glass cannon, amplified 25% weapon damage. I know a lot of you guys don't like using glass cannon, but I recommend it because if you want to get the most damage, this is what this build is about, is how to get the most damage out of your skills. So the holster is the cornerstone of the build, to be honest. That's 30% skill damage that swaps from left to right every 10 seconds, which is very, very nice. Skill haste, skill damage there. So just remember that you don't have to pay attention to this unless you're using a situational skill like a chem launcher, which only does damage once you use it. Whereas, you know, if you've got automatic firing skills like the drone or turret, you don't have to worry about it at all. So the backpack, we have got the 1-piece Hunter U. You're probably wondering why I've only got the 1-piece. Well, because it is the best combination, and unfortunately you just don't have the skill damage, but that skill damage is acquired from the 1-piece Wyvern. So you can have 2-piece Hunter U, it doesn't matter. But you know, if you try different combinations, maybe take one of these out, it doesn't give you more damage. So it's just one of those things like I discussed in the PTS footage. So skill damage and skill haste once again there, perfect combined arms. As long as you're shooting the NPCs, keeping that capacitor stack up, and you know, procking perfect combined arms with glass cannon and the waveformers on your skills, you will be absolutely destroying content in this game. This is for the most difficult content in the entire game. Legendary missions are a breeze with this. As you saw from the footage, I didn't show the whole thing because I don't want you guys to watch a 40-minute video. It takes me about 40 minutes to use this build. It's very easy. You throw your skills and that's that. So we've gone through the build. Let's go through the statistics quickly. Like I said before, if you guys want a full detailed description, my PTS video will be in the description. So we have got crit chance, crit damage, nothing to worry about there. You guys can pause the video if you want to go through the stats in detail. Let's just have a look at the skill haste now. 130% skill haste, which is really, really nice. I really enjoy that. Our skills come back really, really quickly. So with regards to the actual skills themselves, make sure you put the right mods on skill haste. We've got more damage. Now you can, if you use Demolitionist, make sure you put this SSG CPU version 2 on, which gives us 10% skill damage, mortar damage, sorry. So health, I don't recommend it. Just go for duration. Then with the secondary skill or the other skill, we've got the drone. This little drone does a lot of damage. It takes away the aggro. It's very strong. I really do enjoy it, especially when NPCs are being stubborn and hiding behind cover. This will push them and actually get them out, and you can dish out quite a lot of damage, over 200k a bullet. So I really do recommend this. I have got a Shaytek skin. This was for pre-ordering the game, getting the Ultimate Edition. It's not really fancy. It doesn't really look. It hardly does anything. But anyways, that was not a waste of money. Okay, so armor repair. That's completely useless for this, but I don't have any more mods for some reason. I think I'm going to go and have to craft some more. I don't know why, guys. Some of my skills have got really bad mods on them. But yeah, so this build, like I said before, is the most amount of skill damage you can get in the build currently in TU12. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is this something that you're going to be using? Like I said, I will be bringing more builds out very soon. So make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and I'll be seeing everyone in the next video. Peace out, guys.